not just because it's Anzac United. I really think that Jack Della Maddalena has the skills to stifle Islam's game and be able to just put it on the feet and knock him out. Might be second round, might be third, but we'll see.
I was leaning Islam at first, but I do think JDM's going to get it done. I think he creates enough scrambles. He's going to get taken down, but I think he's going to be able to get back to his feet and potentially knock out Islam.
I would love for him to win that bout, but unfortunately, I cannot go against Makhachev in this one. I think he is just so good. I think he's so good, and I don't think he's going to give up anything going up a weight. I think he's going to be great at that weight, to be honest.
Make history.
Absolutely.
Okay, so UFC 322 is getting closer, and everyone's super hyped for this title fight between Islam Makhachev and Jack Della Maddalena. Fans are expecting a wild one, and some MMA analysts have dropped their final predictions, with a few really interesting takes. Israel Adesanya, for example, thinks Jack Della Maddalena's ability to just keep popping back up is going to be a huge headache for Islam. He says if Islam can't keep Jack on the mat, he'll be stuck in striking battles, and that's where Jack's boxing could really do some damage. Adesanya respects Islam, calling him one of the most skilled and efficient fighters ever, but he still feels like Jack's striking is just on another level. He even puts Jack's striking up there with guys like Dustin Poirier and Alexander Volkanovski. That's some high praise.
Bro, I'm not trying to count Islam out, but I just know Jack. I know that when Jack keeps getting up, it's going to be a problem. And Islam's going to be forced to strike. And when he's forced to strike with Jack, he's going to get hurt. Islam, I think, is the best of the Dagestanis, one of the best fighters in history, one of the most efficient. But when it comes to Jack, like, look, even Dustin's able to get up and like stop his submissions, and Dustin's a gun. And also, I've seen live what Volk can do with Islam when they were in Perth.
Dustin has great boxing, but I still think Jack is on the boxing level.
Levels! And he's touching him. So that's why I know he's going to hurt Islam.
Listen, Adesanya actually predicts a knockout win for Jack Della Maddalena over Islam Makhachev. He thinks Islam will probably get some takedowns early on, but he just doesn't see him being able to hold Jack down for long at all. Adesanya believes Jack's defense and his striking are eventually just going to take over, and he sees a finish happening for Jack somewhere in those middle rounds.
I do think, Islam, I'm not disrespecting, I think Islam will be able to get him down, but for how long? It's not for long. And also he's going to get stuffed from the beginning, in the middle, till Jack ends it. In this fight, not just because it's Anzac United, I really think that Jack Della Maddalena has the skills to stifle Islam's game and be able to just put it on the feet and knock him out. Might be second round, might be third, but we'll see.
Now, former middleweight champ Dricus du Plessis, he really wants Jack Della Maddalena to win this one. But honestly, he's struggling to pick against Islam Makhachev. Du Plessis points out Islam's track record, saying he's beaten some seriously high-level opponents. Plus, he notes Islam's size, his strength, and how thoroughly he prepares for these fights, especially moving up in weight. All that just makes him a super difficult challenge. So even though Du Plessis is rooting for Jack to grab that belt, he knows it's going to be incredibly tough.
If you look at his opponents versus Makhachev's opponents, Makhachev has beaten the who's who. He is where he is, and he was pound for pound for very long. Pound for pound king for a very good reason. People think Jack Della is going to be bigger. I don't think so. I've now lately seen, and that's why they did such a long camp, to pick up that weight correctly. And he looks big, and he looks thick, and he looks strong. I mean, no doubt, he's a hard worker. But this one, I think, with Jack Della, I love his style, I love him, I like his personality. I would love for him to win that bout, but unfortunately, I cannot go against Makhachev in this one. I think he is just so good. I think he's so good, and I don't think he's going to give up anything going up a weight. I think he's going to be great at that weight, to be honest.
Make history.
Absolutely.
But here's the thing, Kamaru Usman, he sees this Islam Makhachev and Jack Della Maddalena fight as a really close matchup. He actually believes Islam's blend of striking and grappling gives him all the tools he needs to find and exploit any weaknesses in Jack's game. So Usman thinks it's going to be a super even and competitive contest all the way through.
Do you have a feeling about how this one will go? No, I think this is one of those where I'm kind of 50-50, but if someone can really neutralize and really exploit some of the weaknesses that JDM has shown in the past, I think it's someone like Islam. Islam is very, very talented with his striking. Islam's got great grappling. And JDM is he's growing each and every time, each and every day. So this one is really one of those fights that I consider a toss-up.
And get this, Kamaru Usman is super confident that his very next fight will be for the welterweight title. He doesn't even care if it's against Jack Della Maddalena or Islam Makhachev. He just really wants to reclaim his spot at the top of the division. Usman believes he's absolutely next in line to compete for that championship belt.
Of course, yeah, losing the title and then going up and taking that short notice fight. It, of course, to the untrained eye, it looked like, oh, he's slipping, he's no longer there. And then, you know, you get booked against just a strong and impressive contender like Joaquin Buckley. And for me to go out there and just still show them that, hey, I'm still at the top of this division, that this is not, I need to get back to where I belong, and that's being the champion and holding that title. Me personally, I feel that I'm next in line for that shot. But if Ilya wants Islam, it is what it is. They're gonna do that. But I do think I am next in line for that shot.
Meanwhile, Islam Makhachev actually plans to call out Kamaru Usman right after he fights Jack Della Maddalena at UFC 322. He sees Usman as the logical next challenge for him. Islam recognizes Usman's record for welterweight title defenses and how strong his standing is in that division. It makes total sense for him to eye that matchup.
In welterweight, someone wanted to ask.
After Jack?
Yeah, after Jack.
After Jack, I think...
Bilal?
Not Bilal. Kamaru. Kamaru Usman. He had like most title defense in welterweight. Now he's in good position. Which number he? I don't know.
Now, Kamaru Usman also totally dismisses the idea that Islam Makhachev can only win fights through takedowns. He really highlights Islam's striking improvements, pointing to that precise right hand he landed against Charles Oliveira. Plus, his effective stand-up work against Volkanovski. Usman says that's clear evidence of how well-rounded Islam really is in there.
Skills. A lot of people are saying that, it's about if Islam can get JDM down, and if he can't get him down and the fight is on the feet and it's standing, it's in JDM's court, right? I just got to get your opinion.
I don't think so.
Do you think people are missing something here?
Yeah, I don't think so. You can't say that because Islam is very, very great at striking as well. Islam's very talented as well. You saw the setup with Volkanovski. Goes to the body, kick, then takes it to the head and puts him away. So you can't say that. Islam loves to strike, and he's damn good at it. You saw him with the right hook or left hook. He put Charles Oliveira down, jumped onto the arm triangle, and finished him. So yeah, we can't say that. I think both guys are extremely talented. Obviously, Islam does have the advantage with the grappling. So we'll see how it plays out.
So Dustin Poirier also weighed in on this matchup, and he expects Islam Makhachev to pick up a decision victory over Jack Della Maddalena. Poirier admits that Jack definitely has the power and the timing to surprise Islam with a big strike, but honestly, he feels like a decision or even a submission win for Jack would be a massive shock to everyone.
I would think Islam by decision, but if Jack does win, I'm not going to be totally blown away if he lands a shot that hurts Islam or a knee or something. Obviously, if he beats Islam by decision or submits Islam, then I'm going to be blown away. But I got to go with Islam by decision. That's if I was betting on it, that's what I would bet on.
Plus, Dustin Poirier really thinks this fight between Islam Makhachev and Jack Della Maddalena will come down to skill and strategy, not just size. He points out that Islam is already really well built for his division. So, the key, according to Poirier, is going to be which fighter can better control the takedowns and defend them effectively. That's where the fight will be won or lost.
Islam isn't a small guy. He is big. I'm not sure how big Jack is. I've never seen him in person. But I don't think Islam's going to be undersized when they face off. I don't think it's going to be about the size. To me, it's going to come down to the execution. If Islam can secure the takedowns, Jack's takedown defense, his get-ups, I think that's going to be the story of the fight. I don't think size is going to be the story of this fight.
On top of that, Brendan Schaub views this Islam Makhachev versus Jack Della Maddalena fight as a classic striker versus grappler situation. He actually calls Jack one of the best boxers in the entire UFC, and he sees Islam as more defensive-minded with less offensive striking compared to Jack. Schaub thinks Jack's path to victory is all about his ability to escape control, hand fight effectively, and just pop right back up after any takedowns. Basically, if Jack can avoid being held down for long periods, Schaub just doesn't think Islam will be able to win.
Islam versus JDM, this can be more clear of a straight boxer, probably the best in the UFC, boxing-wise. And then Islam has decent striking, quick saying it, world class. His main thing is his defense. His defense is good. He avoids shots. That's probably where he excels at. But his offense ain't as far as compared to JDM. So you have a straight boxer versus a straight grappler. That's what this fight comes down to. So the whole thought process for JDM, his path to victory, is when you get taken down, can you avoid him controlling your back? Can you hand fight? Can you avoid all that and get back to your feet? If JDM gets taken down and can get back to his feet and not get just out positioned and just wrestle for 5 rounds, I just don't see a way Islam beats him.
Meanwhile, Matt Brown actually considers Islam Makhachev the greatest lightweight in history, but he also feels like Islam still has more to prove before he can truly join those all-time legends. Brown believes Islam's legacy in the lightweight division is totally secured. However, to reach the level of icons like Anderson Silva or John Jones, he needs continued dominance over a long period. Brown also points out that just becoming a double champion doesn't automatically put him in that all-time status. He needs a sustained winning streak on top of that.
He's the greatest lightweight of all time. I think that's pretty much set in stone. I don't think there's a, I think that's done, right? I don't know what this does for him in terms of, I don't know what, like, greatest of all time type thing, pound for pound or anything. I think because he's already up there with all of that. He's still got a long way to go to be kind of one of the all-time greats, right? When you're talking about the Anderson Silvas and the John Jones and people like that, he's got a long way to go for that. So you just can't really put him there yet. And I don't think like the idea of being double champ accelerates that, right? You got to keep a winning streak going, and that's because that's what the other guys did.
Matt Brown basically thinks that if Islam Makhachev can string together a 4-fight win streak at welterweight, that would really solidify his argument as one of the greatest fighters ever. He feels like Islam still needs more time and more numbers to truly build that kind of legacy. He explains that just becoming a double champion isn't quite enough on its own. In Brown's view, a dominant run in the welterweight division would add something really fresh and super meaningful to Islam's already impressive career.
If Islam does a 4-fight win streak at welterweight, I think that is a strong case to be to be the greatest, right? And because I agree, because we basically both just said the same thing, right? He needs more numbers, right? Just higher numbers. Just hasn't done it long enough yet. He's done it, and the fact that it's a double champ thing, that's not enough, I don't think, for much of anybody to be like, okay, you're the greatest of all time. You did it in 2 divisions. But if he goes on a 4-fight win streak at welterweight, to have a, because that would be something new.
What's crazy is Khabib Nurmagomedov also really emphasizes Islam Makhachev's discipline and his relentless competitive drive. He sees those as the key factors that make Islam so exceptional in the cage. Khabib believes these specific traits truly shape Islam's fighting style and his overall mindset. He also suggests that winning a second title could absolutely solidify Islam's status among MMA's all-time greats. Khabib even added, "He's disciplined, and he really, really likes to compete. He is such a competitor. I think these 2 things drive him." After winning the second title, he will have a chance to become one of the best to ever do it in this sport. Khabib describes his bond with Islam as a lifelong brotherhood, not just some gym partnership. They've known each other for 25 years, went to school together, and even trained under the same coach. Their connection just runs super deep. Khabib always says he finds more happiness seeing his friends succeed than in his own accomplishments, and he wishes for them to achieve every world title possible.
What does Islam mean to you?
Brother, not only in US, nobody have this kind of connections. And when people think about our connections, they don't understand one thing: we are not sparring partners. You know, a lot of people think we are sparring partners. We just met in gym, go home. You know, it's like heaven in a K. Like when he was training, so many guys we know like 5, 6, 7 years, but we meet them only in gym. But our relationship is much different and completely different. We have brotherhood. We know each other 25 years. We was growing each other. We was going to school together. We have same coach, and we have so many history behind. And people don't understand. Like, I am happy with my guys, my brothers, when they win more than when I win. Like, same thing for me.
What's more, Michael Venom Page shared his thoughts, and he finds this fight totally captivating, even if he admits it might slow down momentum in his own division. He actually considers Jack Della Maddalena pretty underrated. MVP highlights Jack's evasive movement, saying it makes him really hard to control on the ground. Page expects Islam to land some takedowns, but he seriously doubts Jack will stay down for long at all. He notes that Jack's main vulnerability would be making a misstep that could lead right into one of Islam's submissions. But overall, MVP sees Jack as a more dangerous striker with some really solid defenses against grappling.
Jack Della versus Islam is obviously an interesting one. It's annoying for me because it holds up the division that I'm in, but it's still an exciting fight. I actually feel like Jack Della is very underrated, even though he's a champion now, and the people that he fought to kind of get here. He's very underrated, underestimated always. He's a person that is hard to keep on the floor, because he's the scramble king. Even if Islam is able to take him down, I don't think he's going to stay down at all. The only way I think Jack can get caught is if he tries to get up incorrectly and gets caught in one of his famous chokes that he has. But other than that, I feel Jack's the better striker as well, and he's just better at nullifying people with submissions or takedowns.
But get this, Sean. Brady actually picked Islam to win earlier, but he's totally changed his prediction now. He's backing Jack Della Maddalena to finish Islam Makhachev with a knockout. Brady anticipates that Jack will definitely face takedowns, but he believes Jack's scrambling ability and his knack for getting right back up will lead to a bunch of striking chances. Brady is super eager to see how this fight unfolds. And he also shared that after facing Michael Page, he's totally fine with either a direct title shot or just one more fight to earn it. He's staying confident that his consistency will eventually bring him that championship opportunity.
Main event of your card, Islam, JDM for your division's title. Who takes it?
I was leaning Islam at first, but I do think JDM's going to get it done. I think he creates enough scrambles. He's going to get taken down, but I think he's going to be able to get back to his feet and potentially knock out Islam. It's going to be a great fight. I'm looking forward to watching.
Since you think JDM wins, do you think if you beat Michael, you're next for JDM in the title?
When I do beat Michael, if I get the title shot next, I'm cool with it. If I have to fight again, I'm cool with that too. After beating Leon Edwards in the O2 Arena, I didn't get a title shot, so I'm not sure what's going to get it for me, but I'm just going to keep winning fights, and eventually they're going to have to give it to me.
Meanwhile, Islam Makhachev actually expressed a lot of respect for Sean Brady. He noted that their fighting styles are pretty alike, and he believes a future matchup between them would be incredibly difficult for both sides. Islam really praised Brady's skill set. He also expects Brady to perform well against Morales, especially if he comes in prepared and in peak condition. Islam said directly, "I like Sean Brady, his style. If we meet one day, I know it's going to be a hard fight. We have almost similar styles. If he's in good shape for UFC 322, he's going to win against Morales." Switching gears, Khamzat Chimaev also predicts Islam Makhachev will get the win over Jack Della Maddalena at UFC 322. He finds the fight really interesting, especially with Islam stepping up in weight. Chimaev fully expects Makhachev to rely heavily on his wrestling to dominate the fight. He thinks Islam's consistent grappling pressure will just gradually neutralize Jack's striking all throughout the bout.
Jack or Islam? Islam will get the other and Jack will get the my Jack training, asking the coach brother wait to what he gonna say, we'll see. Europeanos 10% od more or menos.
Islam doktor je zvar.
Delal sam to
Šticu hitno. Coach is 55% Madalena, 45 Islam. I think Islam will see. Both good fighters. Islam moving up, it's interesting to see what's he gonna do. But I think Islam will be more, he gonna use his wrestling more in this fight.
Islam Makhachev also shared his thoughts on Khamzat's recent win over DDP, and he admits he was seriously impressed by how effortlessly Khamzat Chimaev just defeated Dricus du Plessis. Islam really praised Khamzat's skill set and his wrestling. He noted that in MMA, strong wrestlers are often the ones who truly control the entire fight.
Khamzat DDP, what do you think about that? He had him in that crucifix.
I'm surprised.
You were surprised about the outcome?
How easy he beat the champion, I'm surprised also, honestly. And Khamzat is really good, you know, good skills and wrestling. Who have wrestling in this game, the people dominate always.
On the other hand, Jorge Masvidal thinks that a win over Islam Makhachev would actually push Jack Della Maddalena straight to the top of the pound-for-pound rankings. He points out how much weight Islam cuts just to compete at lightweight, and Masvidal suggests that this move up to welterweight might actually suit Islam better in the long run. Masvidal sees Jack as a really special fighter who could genuinely give Islam some real trouble, even though he personally leans toward the champion pulling through in the end.
I've seen Islam, bro. He's a big guy. He's sucking out a lot of weight to get to 55. I think he might start doing better at 70. Problem is, though, Jack is special. I've said this already. Jack is special. We're gonna see just how special he is if he beats Islam Jack, #1 pound for. Wow, that's impressive, you know. I don't know. It's a good fight, man. I think I'm leaning towards Islam, brother.
Oh, really?
You know, but I really think it's gonna be a tough fight for him, but a great fight, man.
Dan Hooker finds this fight between Islam Makhachev and Jack Della Maddalena super interesting from a style matchup perspective. He notes that both guys clearly want this fight, which tells you they both see an opportunity in it. While Islam definitely has a shot here, Hooker is actually leaning towards Jack. He points to Jack's size and his overall impact as the key advantages in this matchup.
Pretty confident stylistically with that Jack Della fight, so they've kind of gone out of their way to chase that fight down. So they obviously see something. I feel like it'll be close, but yeah, that's a big step up. Jack Della's a pretty big boy.
Yes. Do you think Islam can get past him?
He's obviously got like I feel like he's got a chance, but I feel like that fight leans towards Jack Della.
Dan Hooker totally commends Islam Makhachev for his smart approach and his awareness inside the cage. But he still sees Jack Della Maddalena holding the clear edge at welterweight. Hooker feels like Jack's sheer size and strength could slowly wear Islam down if he keeps up that consistent pressure. Even while recognizing Islam's composure and his defensive ability on the ground, Hooker believes Jack's power and his all-around skills at 170 pounds just make him a truly formidable opponent.
I think Jack, just because of the size advantage, like the later it goes, like that's the thing. Being the bigger, stronger guy, it's effective if you can make the other fighter carry your weight. Jack being a bigger guy, I feel like the longer the fight goes, Islam's not used to carrying that same amount of weight into deep waters. I feel like just Jack's frame and size will give him the advantage if it goes later into the fight. But Islam Makhachev is an incredibly smart fighter. On the feet, he's very hard to hit. He doesn't like getting hit at all. And then he's also very conservative on the ground. He's a very hard guy to touch. He's a very hard guy to start putting some damage on. But Jack Della, I feel like there's no one better than him right now at welterweight, and I see him winning this fight.
Michael Chandler also leans slightly toward Jack Della Maddalena. He praises Jack's precise striking and his really solid fundamentals. Chandler notes Jack's ability to control distance and keep up the pressure to unsettle his opponents. While he recognizes that Islam Makhachev is used to training with bigger, stronger partners, Chandler believes the fight will ultimately come down to whether Jack can remain composed against Islam's constant wrestling and keep landing meaningful strikes.
JDM is a tough. He's not much of a puzzle, man. He's pretty basic, but he is brilliant and violent and devastating with the basics, man. A little bit of range, a little bit of reach on Islam, and I won't even sit there and say, because Islam's a different breed, man. I wouldn't sit there and say, oh, he's a 155er, so he's not used to going with 170 pounders. I would not be surprised if Islam, his entire career, has been sparring with 55, 70, 185, and 205ers, because the dude's kind of a nut. So I think I don't think strength or size is going to be the problem. It's really going to be the dichotomy between JDM's great striking abilities and is his takedown defense enough to stop the onslaught of wrestling that Islam's going to bring.
However, Elijah Smith actually favors Islam Makhachev in this one. He argues that Jack Della Maddalena's earlier opponents often tried to show off for the crowd, instead of just sticking to their game plan. Smith sees Islam as super disciplined and methodical, always ready to keep taking opponents down, kind of like Khabib. Still, Smith does acknowledge that this clash of styles makes the outcome really hard to predict.
I want to say Islam, and the reason why I say Islam is because I feel like Bilal, he went out there when he fought Jack, and he went out there trying to prove the fans that he can strike, which I think that kind of hurt him. I feel like if Bilal went out there and did what he did to, what's his name, Leon Edwards, I think he probably would have had a better chance of getting the win, but it seemed like he just wanted to show people that he had with Canelo hands, which sometimes you don't need to prove anybody anything. You're the champion. You don't have to prove anything to somebody who's trying to take your spot. You just got to go out there and fight your game. If they stop it, then we move on to something different. But I think Islam is that type of guy where he's not going to be scared to take you down or shoot repetitively, almost in that Khabib-esque type of feel. But I guess we'll see. You know what they say, styles make fights.
So that wraps up our breakdown for today. What do you think? How do you see this fight going down? Make sure to drop your predictions in the comments below. And hey, if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more great content like this.